Our next story comes with far-reaching implications. Israeli police and the Shin Bet Security Service have reportedly arrested 2 IDF reservists, accusing them of selling critical military intelligence to Iranian handlers for financial gains, raising serious questions about Israel's national security and the extent of Iranian infiltration. The primary suspect, a former member of Israel's Iron Dome missile defense unit, allegedly handed over highly classified information, including a video showcasing the Iron defense system in action, after establishing contact with an Iranian handler in September last year. And you see, the timing is absolutely critical. On October 1, Iran launched a massive ballistic missile attack against Israel, firing over 180 missiles, several of which reportedly hit air bases and other sensitive sites. Could the stolen intel have played a role in that attack? Especially since it is pertaining to the Iron Dome, Israel's main defense against such missile attacks, which was found to be vulnerable in the Iranian attack. According to reports, the IDF reservist was not working alone. The main suspect also recruited a friend to assist in the espionage scheme, reportedly. The main suspect reportedly received $2,500 from the Iranian agent, while his friend was compensated a mere $50. Israeli law enforcement officials filed charges against both suspects, accusing them of serious offenses, including contacting a foreign agent, transferring classified information, and aiding the enemy during wartime. According to reports, the primary suspect initially sought financial opportunities and stumbled upon the Iranian handler. And from there, he allegedly engaged in pro-Iranian activities, like spray painting slogans like, quote-unquote, "Children of Ruhollah" in Tel Aviv, reportedly referring to Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini, Iran's first supreme leader. In fact, he then showed this graffiti reportedly to his friend at the IDF's Kiryat military headquarters, convincing him to join as an accomplice, though the friend ultimately withdrew out of fear. Over the past 2 years, Iran has intensified efforts to recruit ordinary Israelis as spies, often targeting them with financial incentives. Last month itself, nearly 30 Israeli citizens were arrested for similar espionage activities, reportedly, many starting with seemingly minor tasks that escalated into intelligence gathering and even assassination plots. Israel now faces the challenge of fortifying its internal security and uncovering further vulnerabilities. The question is, how will Israel dismantle such espionage networks? 7 individuals were caught in October for allegedly collecting information on IDF bases like Nevatim and Ramat David, which were later targeted by Iran and Hezbollah. As per reports, Iran's espionage network is evolving and its reach is deeper than ever. We now shift our attention to West Asia. Palestinians returning to North Gaza after 15 months of the war are finding that their homes have been turned to rubble. Things around them destroyed. Many of them arrived in Gaza on foot, exhausted and staring at a rather uncertain future. Many said they will spend the night sleeping on the streets as they have nowhere to go, or they simply cannot continue walking further.
Look at this scene. There's nothing to say. People will sleep on the ground. There's nothing left. One will have to lie on the ground to sleep. I swear, I think I will sleep on the ground. I'm exhausted. I can't anymore. I can't continue.
And some were also waiting for family members they lost among the crowds on the way, unable to find a way to communicate with them.
I was with my family and we walked from before Nusairat. While passing by Wadi, we got separated. I've been walking ever since, unable even to get a drink of water. My crutches broke and I had to tie them with a rope. Our life is tragic. We could hardly believe we were finally arriving home, only to be separated again. I don't know where to go, where to spend the night, or what to do. We no longer know anything.
Thousands of Palestinians could be seen returning to northern Gaza after months of living in temporary shelter, fearing what might remain of their homes amid the ruins.
I previously escaped from the north to the south. Now returning from the south to the north feels just like fleeing again. My house has been destroyed, and the homes of my relatives have been completely destroyed as well. I've been carrying a tent, traveling from south to north. There's no other place to take shelter, so I set up the tent wherever I can, on the streets along the way.
For many Palestinians, the ceasefire was also an opportunity to reunite with their loved ones.
I am very happy. I'm very happy that I've come back and seen my family, my mother and all my sisters. Thank God. Tears of joy. They are tears of joy.
Around 650,000 Palestinians were reportedly displaced from northern Gaza during the war. Hamas said that more than 300,000 people have crossed into northern Gaza, and they need at least 135,000 tents and shelters as they try to re-establish their lives. According to the UN, it might take 21 years and cost up to $1.2 billion to remove more than 50 million tons of rubble from Gaza. For thousands of Gazans, a long road lies ahead towards normal. President Donald Trump, meanwhile, signed an executive order to develop a next-generation missile defense shield for the United States, modeled after Israel's Iron Dome. But this time, the vision extends beyond Earth and into space. Our next report telling you more.
The world is increasingly becoming a dangerous place. New deadly missiles are being designed and deployed. The Russians, the Chinese, the North Koreans and the Iranians, they're all expanding their arsenals. Hypersonic missiles are becoming the most sought-after weapons. These weapons can maneuver at 5 times the speed of sound while changing trajectory unpredictably. The traditional missile defense systems designed for predictable ballistic trajectories stand powerless against these new threats. Donald Trump has unveiled an ambitious project that aims to protect the US against the evolving threats of ballistic, hypersonic and advanced cruise missiles.
And in a little while, I'll be signing 4 new executive orders. First is that I'm directing our new Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, who's going to be great, by the way. Thank you for the support. Thank you very much for the support. You really did support him greatly. I think he's going to be fantastic. I know him very well. I think he's going to be fantastic. He's what we need to immediately begin the construction of a state-of-the-art Iron Dome missile defense shield, which will be able to protect Americans. You know, we protect other countries, but we don't protect ourselves.
Unlike conventional ground-based systems, this new shield will have a constellation of orbital interceptors capable of detecting and neutralizing threats during their vulnerable boost phase. The strategy marks a paradigm shift in missile defense, targeting hypersonic weapons when they're most exposed, before they can execute evasive maneuvers. The scale is staggering. While Israel's Iron Dome protects a nation roughly the size of New Jersey, America's Space Shield must defend a continent. The technical challenges are unprecedented, maintaining constant orbital coverage, achieving split-second response times, and intercepting threats traveling at Mach 5 plus speeds. Currently, the US relies on a layered defense network that includes THAAD, Aegis and Patriot systems. Together, these systems protect against ballistic and hypersonic missile threats. However, experts warn they may not be enough to counter emerging technologies and long-range missile strikes, particularly ICBMs armed with nuclear warheads. The strategic calculus is clear. US missile defense capabilities, while sophisticated, were designed for a different era. The Trump administration has revealed few details about the new missile defense system and how the plan would be executed. Building such a protective layer around the US would have an astronomical cost. But given the changing nature of threats, the US is preparing for the wars of tomorrow. Bureau Report, WION World is One.